In 1983, a decision was made in Washington. A quiet decision. A slow decision. One that would take over 40 years to fully arrive. And it just arrived. Most people have no idea it happened. And the ones who do, don't fully understand what it's going to cost them. Imagine this situation. You've spent 30 years working, paying into a system with every single paycheck. Every week, year after year, that money came out before you ever saw it. Social Security taxes. Your contribution to the promise. The promise that when you got older, when you were done working, there would be something waiting for you. A check every month. Earned. Guaranteed. Yours. Now imagine getting close to that finish line. You're 62. You're 64. You're 65. You start doing the math in your head. You think you know the rules. You think you know when you can collect. And then someone tells you, the rules changed. Not last year. Not when you were watching. 43 years ago. While you were in school, or raising kids, or just trying to make ends meet. Congress quietly moved the finish line. And almost nobody told you. That's not speculation. That's exactly what happened. And in 2026, the final piece of that change just locked into place. I'm Maya. And this channel exists because someone needs to explain to you what they're not telling you. Today, we're going to go through all of it. The real history of how this happened. The real numbers, how much this change actually costs you in dollars you can count. The real deadline that almost nobody is talking about that could cut your benefits even further. And most importantly, the 4 specific things you can do right now to protect yourself. Stay until the end. Because the last thing I'm going to show you is the most important. And if you haven't subscribed to Money with Maya yet, do it right now. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because this channel exists for one reason, to tell you the things the system hopes you never figure out. Let's start with what actually happened. In 1935, when Social Security was created, the full retirement age was 65. That was the deal. You worked your whole life. You paid in. At 65, you collected your full benefit. For nearly 50 years, that was the promise. Then came 1983. The Social Security Trust Fund was running out of money. The program was months away from not being able to pay full benefits. Congress had to act. And they did. They passed the Social Security Amendments of 1983. One of the biggest changes buried in that law was this: the full retirement age would be raised. From 65 to 67. But here's how they did it. They didn't raise it immediately. That would have been too obvious. Too easy to fight. Instead, they phased it in slowly. Over more than 4 decades. 2 months at a time. Every year. So slowly that most people never noticed. If you were born in 1938, your full retirement age became 65 years and 2 months. Born in 1943? 66 years. Born in 1955? 66 years and 2 months. And on it went. Year after year. Quietly. Until 2026. This year, the phase-in is complete. For everyone born in 1960 or later, and that includes every single Gen Zer on this planet, the full retirement age is now officially 67. The final step of a 43-year plan just landed. And here's what I need you to understand. This isn't just a number on a government website. This is money. Real money. Let me show you exactly how much. Here's what the Social Security Administration's own data shows. If your full benefit at age 67 would be $2,000 a month, and you claim at 62 instead, your check becomes $1,400 a month. Every single month. For the rest of your life. That's $600 less per month. $7,200 less per year. If you live to 85, that's $45,600 less in lifetime benefits. From one decision. Made under pressure. Because the finish line moved and nobody sat you down to explain what that means. Now here's where it gets personal. According to AARP, 44% of Americans claim Social Security before they reach full retirement age. Nearly half. And most of them do it not because it's the right financial decision. They do it because they're scared. They lost their job. Their health forced them out of the workforce earlier than planned. Or they simply didn't know the math. According to research from the Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies, nearly 60% of retirees say they left the workforce earlier than they planned. 6 in 10. Not by choice. By circumstance. And when that happens, when life forces you to claim early, that 30% reduction doesn't go away. It stays. Permanently. Every month. Every year. For every year you live. That's the part nobody explains when you sign up. I want you to subscribe to Money with Maya right now. Not after the video. Now. Because what I'm about to show you in the next section is something that almost no one is connecting to the retirement age conversation. And it changes everything about how you need to think about this. There is a second clock running. One that has nothing to do with your birth year. It's the clock on the Social Security Trust Fund itself. Here's what the numbers actually say. The Congressional Budget Office, the nonpartisan government agency responsible for analyzing federal finances, released a report just weeks ago. Their projection, the Social Security Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund will be depleted in 2032. Not 2033. Not some distant future. 2032, 6 years from now. And here is what happens when that trust fund runs out. Under current law, Social Security cannot pay out more than it takes in. Once the reserves are gone, benefits get cut automatically. The CBO's own modeling shows a 7% cut in 2032, followed by cuts of up to 28% per year from 2033 to 2036. Let that sink in. If you're 55 today, you'll be 61 when this hits. If you're 50, you'll be 56. Right in the window of when you need to be making the most critical retirement decisions of your life. A typical couple retiring at the time of insolvency could face a cut of $18,400 per year in annual benefits. According to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. Per year. Now combine that with the retirement age change. You've already been told you can't get your full benefit until 67. And on top of that, the fund that pays those benefits is running out of money. These are not two separate problems. They are the same problem. A system that was built for a different America. An America with more workers than retirees. An America where people didn't live as long. Where 5 workers paid into the system for every 1 person collecting. Today that ratio is less than 3 to 1. And it's getting worse. The baby boomer generation is the largest in American history. More than 11,000 baby boomers reach retirement age every single day. Every single day. And behind them, smaller generations paying in. This is not a political problem. It is a math problem. And the math has been telling us this was coming for a long time. Here's what I want you to take from this. The The system is not going to take care of you the way your parents expected it to. That is not pessimism. That is data. And data can be prepared for. So let me give you 4 specific things you can do right now. Not someday. Right now. The first is this: know your exact full retirement age and model both scenarios. Go to ssa.gov and create a My Social Security account if you don't have one. Look at your estimated benefit at 62, at 67, and at 70. Then sit with those numbers. What's the monthly difference? What's the lifetime difference if you live to 80? To 85? To 90? Most people have never actually done this math. They guess. They assume. And assumptions about retirement income are extraordinarily expensive when they're wrong. The second thing is to delay claiming if you possibly can. For every year past 67 that you wait to claim Social Security, up to age 70, your benefit increases by 8% per year. Guaranteed. That is an 8% annual return with no market risk. There is almost nothing in the financial world that offers that. If you can cover your expenses from savings, a pension, a part-time job, or a working spouse from 67 to 70, the math of delaying is almost always in your favor. 3 years of waiting from 67 to 70 turns that $2,000 monthly check into $2,480. $480 more per month. $5,760 more per year. For every year of your retirement. The third thing is to maximize your 401k contributions right now. In 2026, the IRS raised the 401k contribution limit to $24,500. If you're 50 or older, you can contribute an additional $8,000 in catch-up contributions. That's $32,500 total per year. If you're between 60 and 63 specifically, that catch-up limit goes even higher, to $11,250. Meaning you can put $35,750 into your 401k this year alone. These limits were raised this year. Most people don't know. Every dollar you put in there now is a dollar that doesn't have to come from Social Security. Every dollar you contribute is a dollar that reduces your dependence on a system that is under increasing financial pressure. The fourth thing is to build income that doesn't depend on Social Security at all. I know that sounds easier said than done. But here's the mindset shift I want you to make. It was designed to be about 40% of what you need. A floor. Not a ceiling. Not the whole house. If you've built your retirement plan around Social Security being the primary pillar, the math of what's coming needs to change that plan. Dividend-paying stocks. Real estate. A Roth IRA that grows tax-free. A part-time income doing something you're good at. These are not luxury strategies. They are survival strategies for the retirement landscape that actually exists. Not the one we were promised. The one that's actually here. Let me close with something that stays with me every time I talk about this. In 1983, a decision was made by people in Washington who would never feel its consequences. They moved a finish line. They did it slowly enough that most people wouldn't notice. And they were right. Most people didn't notice. Most people still haven't. The retirement age change that just completed in 2026 was 43 years in the making. 4 decades of quiet implementation. And the trust fund that pays those benefits is now projected to run out in 6 years. These are not rumors. These are not opinions. These are the official projections from the Congressional Budget Office. From the Social Security Administration itself. From the Treasury Department. The question isn't whether any of this is true. The question is whether you're going to let it happen to you without a plan. Or whether you're going to know what's coming. Understand the numbers. Make different decisions than the 44% who claim too early without doing the math. Maximize what you can control while the window is open. Because the window is open right now. The contribution limits just went up. The delay strategy works until 70. The Roth conversion window is right in front of you. None of those doors close tomorrow. But they don't stay open forever either. Now I need you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to Money with Maya right now if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell. Because I have a video coming that goes deep on exactly how to calculate whether delaying Social Security to 70 makes sense for your specific situation. You are not going to want to miss that one. Second, drop a comment below right now. Tell me this, when you started watching this video, did you know the retirement age had already moved to 67? Yes or no? I genuinely want to know. Because that number tells me something important about how many people are navigating their retirement completely blind. Third, share this video with someone who needs to see it. A friend who's in their 50s and hasn't thought about this. A sibling who thinks Social Security is taken care of. Someone who is going to be blindsided by what's coming if nobody shows them. This knowledge isn't exclusive. It doesn't cost anything. But the cost of not having it can run into tens of thousands of dollars. Subscribe to Money with Maya. Because someone needs to tell you what they won't. And I'm just getting started.